This is everybody's day. This is everybody's day. We can happen in the same spiritual location. You are conceiving. I am birthing. And there is the deception of, because we are here, we are praying together. It's the same reality we are producing. Oh, okay. If you don't understand, maybe I should just go home. If we go to pray together, maybe our prayer point is, what are the common prayer points? Do you have a prayer partner? Come. I need to know. That's why my phone is there. I need to know what the feedback is. Okay, she's coming. Are we good? So what's the issue? Taking a lot of, anyway, I bless the Lord. So what do you have a prayer point, partner? Who is your prayer partner? Okay, what do you pray about? Okay, so that's a good prayer point. The future. When two people are praying for the future, they may think that they are different at the same stage of dealing with the future. Lord, our future. Somebody in that. You are just two of you. Somebody may just be receiving seed for the future. Somebody may be in the birthing process. And so, if you think that both of you are just receiving the seed of the future, God just inspiring you as to what the future will look like, it means after 1 hour, if somebody says, an idea just hit me, you can break prayer. Your own baby will die. The Lord told me, He said, conception is pleasurable. The casting of the seed comes with pleasure, but birthing comes with pain. So we can go to the same prayer meeting, and somebody is casual because he's just feeling prayer. Say, Kai, I feel my. You know how people used to feel themselves in prayer. Say, Kai, I feel myself. I feel myself. Hear tongues. Kabai, kabai, kwa, ko. Say. He's not doing anything really spiritual. He's just feeling himself. It's because he's not carrying a baby. He's just laboring for an implantation. Are you with me? But your baby is matured. If you quench prayer when he quenches his own, because he can come tomorrow to have the... you don't sleep with a woman one day and she gets pregnant most times. It's many times. So the person may be in a season of conception, and the person has many opportunities at seed casting. But if it's time to give birth to the baby is born now, or mother or baby is endangered. So the question is, what time is it? There are two events happening based as regards the purpose of God for men. There are men who are just receiving seed. See, what are you pressing into? See, I'm trusting God for a burden. But you have been carrying a burden for 4 years. And then two of you go to prayer. Because you came to prayer, you think you are the same. And when the person looking for a burden says, there's nothing today, let's go home. Have you checked if it's time to give back to your own baby? It means that our engagements must begin to express in isolation until you find a man who is carrying what you are carrying. Don't quit. Since school I learned, and I've said it here before, Jibola, I don't do let's go to read. I had friends that if they scored F, you know what they call F? 39 and below. Their fathers have companies. There's this movie guy now, and for me, it's my most loved movie guy because he's my friend. I don't know what they call him, but what we call him is Daniel F. Young. What's his stage name? You said? Is that what he uses as stage? Okay. So Daniel was in my class. He's my friend. He was one of the best students in chemical engineering. Go out, come in. I still spoke to him, I think, a little after last week. And no, that was last week. Because I needed somebody to meet him somebody coming into that line. So I said, I have a friend there, is a very standard guy. So talk to him and went to see him. Daniel was one of the best students in chemical engineering. But you see, if he had started playing with chemical engineering, and those who were ordained to work in Shell also started playing, do you know that those people will have been picking pieces now? He will still have gone to acting. Because what put him in acting? He was in fellowship drama group. But he loved acting. And at 400 level, that time his GP was, I think, 4.7 or so. He decided to do a stage play in one of the theaters in Mina. It was my auntie's car we borrowed to be carrying speaker. When we finished our own play and we went home, some people came for a party there. And cultists shot and killed somebody. So when school was looking for who were the people who did program there, they compiled the names of the people and his name appeared on the sheet. So they rusticated all of them. It was during that period he now went to South African Movie Academy and honed his tools. So we had finished serving before they invited them back. You know, the probe took like 3 years. They now invited them back so that he could still graduate. But you see, he just came to walk through chemical engineering. He had found purpose. What if he had a friend who was designed to be a chemical engineer? And he says, let's go to drama rehearsal, and that one follows him. You know, that one will be begging now. Anyway, if they are still friends, he will still be giving him handouts. Are you with me? So you must know at what stage. When you start praying, and God tells you, believe this is what I'll do with your life, what feeling do you have? You're excited. That's the pleasure that comes with seed implantation. But when the baby is coming, it may be same location, but a different set of protocols. Because when a baby is about to be born, it's not only the baby, peace knows that. It's not only the baby that is endangered if the mother is not exerting all pressure. Even the mother. I say you watch movies, the doctor will come and say, oh, we bless God. I remember when my wife was in labor. They now say, let's induce her. They now chemically induced her. She held my hand, squeezed it, and I began to cry. Ah, see my wife, see my wife. And I looked at the doctor. I said, sir, you can't do this. Let's do a CS. He said, no. The Bible said that it's in travail they will give birth. That this is travail. Ah, travail. We know the definition in the dictionary. Must we experience it? Called another person. Look for grandma. The grandma is a nurse. She was one of those who took my own delivery. Grandma. You know the relationship between us is not nurse and patient. Do something, do something. See, I've spoken to doctor. Doctor said we should go through the process. I now remember that the heart of kings is in the hands of the Lord. So I dropped my wife's hand and said, give me 15 minutes. I was 10 minutes into my prayer. The doctor said, we'll do CS now. I said, oh, your heart is not far away. So I came back. At about 2 a.m., me, in my own prayers, I picked the midwife that would supervise that pregnancy before we got pregnant, before we married. And I told her, auntie, it's you. That day you must be on standby. So she showed up and she was controlling everything. She brought the boy to me and gave him to me. And I lifted him up. Ha! He shall see the travail of his soul and he shall be comforted. But my joy was not full. My next question was, where's my wife? I want to see both of them. They say we are still working on her. So I lifted up the young man and blessed him. But my heart did not stop the palpitations until they wheeled my wife. And you know she was on anesthesia, so I had to pinch a little to be sure that don't fool me. Are you here? And then she began to wake up. I was blessing there, Daddy. Were you with us in hospital? Okay, you came back. I think Angela was permanently there. I slept in the car that day because I didn't want to be too comfortable to check that. Are you good? You are good. If a mother does not push hard enough, she will endanger herself and endanger the baby. Some of you don't understand what time it is. You think because the seed was sown in pleasure, the baby will also be born in pleasure. No. The woman painted her eyes, her face in the day the seed was being planted. But in the day the baby is coming, there's no time. We will need to really pray. And please pray before Sunday, so that you find out what the clock is. Could you be on the verge of a birthing and you are treating it like a conception? You are walking on the road when Messi just told you, I will give you a throne in South Africa. So you have gone to buy visa. You see, there are people whose passports, they expire progressively. That they've had passports for 18 years, but no stamp. Is somebody with me? It happens like that too. Because when a season to birth comes, they think it's all going to be casual. You ate into conception, but you also want to eat into delivery. When I come on Sunday, the Lord gave me 7 instances in scriptures. 2 of them advertising the call to be mindful of time. 5 of them advertising how people missed their timings. I won't go to read, but the first one that broke my heart was Rachel. Rachel had longed for a child. You know, sleeping with a man every day doesn't give you children. I believe that there was a clock in the spirit that indicated that this night, any woman Jacob sleeps with will conceive. And in that day, she began to desire mandrakes. So when she saw Reuben coming, the son of Leah, she went to Reuben and said, give me mandrakes. Leah now saw her and said, why are you collecting mandrakes from my son? Is it not enough? Because Leah was the first one that married Jacob. Is it not enough that you are contending with my husband? With me for my husband? You want my son's mandrakes too? Rachel now said, don't worry. Give me mandrakes. Tonight you sleep with my husband was that night that Issachar was conceived. Why was it Issachar? Why was it the masters of time? It means that there was a time that Leah took advantage of. Rachel had opportunity, but she traded it for mandrakes. A lot of trading has been happening behind the scene. A lot of trading. This afternoon I was studying Elisha and Gehazi. I'll fully express them on Sunday. Because I wanted to know, it's not a culture of prophets of old that you meet them empty-handed. But there was a day when Naaman came for healing. And when she approached, he was healed and came with goods. And the thing was, Elisha said no. They said, so we have enough. Say, no, I'm not taking anything. And the Lord told me that what Gehazi did not know was that there was a type that God was building. I had to go to Matthew chapter 10 to understand it. That in the day of the sending of the disciples, especially to the lost sheep of Israel, it was freely you have received, freely give. God was trying to build a pattern in the earth, and Gehazi was trying to undo the pattern because of greed. So his non-participation, his obstruction made him suffer. It's not wrong to collect gifts, but there's a day you must not collect. Not in this season. We want to ask of the Lord that there will be visitations. Visitations that will install gifts that make for the understanding of the times. Visitations that will grant access. The enemy will not cheat me in this season. The things that need to be truncated will be successfully truncated. Oh, the things for which I must stretch, I will know to stretch.